check this out. DVD. Complete collection of Spawn. I realized I didn't have it. I was looking at some figures this morning, you know, trying to see what I wanted to buy, and also learned something new as well about Spawn Mandarin. Right, I've never heard of a character called Spawn Mandarin, and so so I ended up buying this as because I was looking online. I mean, I'm looking for stuff, and I just searched on Trade Me Spawn. I mean, you know, Spawn, and because I saw a toy that looked really cool, right? And I was like, oh, hey, maybe I should start reading Spawn comics from #1, because I don't think I've ever really read the entire Spawn series. So I'm going to do that this year, right? All that friggin' 300 or plus comics and all the, you know, crossovers, all the minis and stuff. Hey, talking, Nugget, do you want to come on? Come and hang out. If you do, I'll send you a link on Facebook, man. It'd be cool to hang out. So yeah, so I saw this, and then I'll show you this other thing that how I got to that. Right, you always, you know, you always get to something else via something else, right? So where is it? So I got to that because I saw this today, right? On Trade Me, and I was thinking I should get a Spawn. I don't have many Spawn figures. I have one, I think, or two. You know, and you know, this one I do have. I don't even have the friggin' cloak of this, right? And so I thought maybe I'll get a Spawn figure because I like McFarlane, and I like getting, like, at least, as you guys know, at least one figure of something that I like, right? The next one I got to get is this year is a Judge Dredd, a Conan, a Red Sonja. Yeah, man, I'll send it across and let me know, and I'll pop you in. I'll send you the link across on Facebook. That'll be cool. Now, yeah, so I was like, who the hell is Mandarin Spawn, right? So I jump over to, you know, Facebook. I mean, sorry, YouTube, because I know there's always somebody, you know, somebody out here putting out a little video about something that somebody will find interesting, or they find interesting, like I do, right? If I find something interesting, I start talking about it. You know, like if I find a comic that I want to back, indie creator I want to back, I'll talk about it. You know, I'll promote it. So, so what I went and did was I did a search, right? Mandarin, you know, Mandarin Spawn, and there was a guy who did a really cool little video about it, and now I want to learn, you know, I want to get the comic book. It's the one, I think it appears in 2 issues all up. So let me find where I saved it. Did I save it in unboxing? I think it, give me 1 sec. Should be able to find it. There we go. Yep. So this is a guy named your boy. He's got more followers than me, but I'm still going to say, actually, I'm going to subscribe to him right now, because I think anybody who does, you know, does pretty cool, you know, stuff like this, I want to get back over here. I want to, you know, I want to be supportive of people like that, right? You know, because if you're creating something that I enjoy, I want to, you know, I want to be out here following you, right? I want to be out here supporting what you got to do. It's just the way, you know, kind of like, you know, one of those, you know, Mukasa Sukasa, right? If I'm in your home, you're in my home, kind of thing, right? So check out this little video. It's called Spawn Who's Spawn, right? Now, I'm wondering why I'm not hearing that. Huh. It doesn't look like it's it's weird. Let me play something else. Right, so
hey guys.
Oh, there we go. My bad. Right, so this is the video. This is the name of the video, right? So this is Blind Boy 42, and I'm gonna put myself down here, and this is the, you know, this is the
Blind Boy, and today we'll be going over the character of Mandarin Spawn. Since we already went over Gunslinger Spawn, I said, you know what, let's go over Mandarin Spawn because he's not as well known as Gunslinger. So Mandarin Spawn is a very tragic character in my opinion. It's very sad what his life was. But in the end, he gets what he deserves. He first appeared in Spawn number 165, and this was a one-off story, but I'm hoping he returns at some point. Anyway, during the time of the Tang Dynasty in ancient China, there's this governor, and he wants these warriors. They're very expensive, so he starts taxing the peasants. The peasants can't afford them, so they give him a gift. And their gift is this 22-year-old man who is very badly deformed named Ching Li. And Ching Li, he becomes like this form of entertainment to the people, these cruel people who just constantly torture the thing, or torture him. And he's a man. He's just being tortured by these people. Now, they end up bringing him into their dining hall or their very nice place where they eat. And they chain him up and they put him on display like a jester almost. And what they do is they brand him and torture him and all these things for people's entertainment. And it's very sad. I mean, it makes me angry just reading it. But the one person who does treat him right is a storyteller who works there. This very kind man who he comes to him one night while he's in his cage and covers one of the wounds with some type of cream to help. And sadly, after this, the governor's daughter comes out and teases the man.
One of the things, like, I mean, like, this is the first time I've heard about this character, right? Like I said, I haven't really read Spawn. I've got comic books. I've got a friggin' hardcover. I'll show you. I've got the hardcover here, right? And I haven't read it. Right. Sorry, it's upside down. My bad. Right. This is volume book 2, right? Compendium, Origins Compendium. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's not that compendiums, but like full on, right? But I haven't really gone, sat down and went, okay, I'm going to read Spawn now, and that's something I'm going to do this year, right? But the other thing is, I've read all Darkness. I've read all Witchblade, right? Like, seriously, all of them, right? And so I need to read Spawn now. But the other, I, not knowing these characters that have been around for like 300 issues, right? It's kind of, I think for me, it's kind of sad, right? That because I have two copies of Angela, right? Who's now Thor's sister, right? Something of Hell, whatever, I don't know, Angela, Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever thing. But I have the original comic books first appearances, both of them, right? I actually have her over here. Where is she? Over here somewhere. There she is. Right over here somewhere. Like I said, I need to get a longer. I need to get a longer friggin' there she is. Right, I need to get a longer cord for my headphones. I realized today it's only this far back, and that's all I can go. I do. I mean, what's not to appreciate what Todd McFarlane has done for comics? Right, I think him and Frank Miller are the most dedicated to the medium of comic books that I know, or that I'm aware of, that I can appreciate, right? And I think, and they're always honest about what their place in the things, right? And in this grand scheme of things, right? And watching this video made me realize that I should be reading Spawn. I know a friend of mine who's a big fan, and he actually wanted that, and I ended up not giving him that because we were going to do some swap season. I was like, no, I think I'll keep that one, right? Because this is a time when I was like having my comic shop, and when I was selling and stuff, and I was like, some comics can go, some can't, but I held on to that. Now I need to get book 1, right, and then start creating book 2, book 3, so on. And I was actually looking online on the auction site, like here on Trade Me in New Zealand, as I showed you before, right? With having just bought this the Spawn, I'm looking at getting this because this is why we're talking about the video, right? Because I didn't know this character, and I love the amount of stuff that's coming out with this, like this, you know, all the, because I'm into weapons, like seriously. One of my friends became a friend of mine because he saw me drawing a gun, like a pistol, a Glock. That's how he became my friend, my best friend. And he's been my friend for the last friggin' 94, right? And so, you know, I'm a person who likes weapons, and you know, whatever. I like to create weapons, and so I like to design them, you know, for my artists to, you know, do their best at drawing them, right? That's why you see this amazing, you know, this huge gun on the cover of let me just grab it. Where are you? Right here on the cover of is it going to be bigger for me? No, it's not. It's very small. But I'll show you a bigger version of that soon. But as you can't see that there. Apologies for that. Let me see if I can bring you the bigger image, because this one thing I love about creating sci-fi art or sci-fi comics is I get to play around with futuristic stuff, like with weapons, ships, the world, houses, what they will look like, you know, the things that you just end up building, you know, because it's here we go. So it's just it allows me to just be creative. Doing comics is the most creative thing I can think of doing, that involves other people and not just me. So it's not all about me when I'm creating comics. I'm looking at, you know, what my artist can deliver, right? You know, what like, here you go, there's a gun. Hopefully that's showing up really well, right? Let me pop down here. So you can see there, right? Actually, she's actually at the back there, but like, you can see this huge gun. And I wanted to design this, you know, it's a Gatling gun kind of thing. And it's based off a Nerf gun. And the reason I wanted to make it off a Nerf gun is that if somebody ever decided to cosplay as this character or any of the characters from Robot Nations, they could actually make their own gun, right? You know, make it look like that from just getting a, you know, whatever secondhand or brand new Nerf gun that looks like that. I don't know what it's called, but I have one. Right, so I went and tightened it up and redesigned it. I said, I'm going to put this extra bits there, and then I go, hey, Francisco, you know, can you please do your magic, right? Bring your creative magic to this. And he brings his creative magic, and I get to see this amazing, you know, work of art, you know, on this gun. I mean, just look at it, you know, all the details and stuff, and then you got Hugo here coloring it in, bringing her to life. You know, and just the dimensions, the tones, gradients, and so on. And that's why I say the people I'm working with right now are amazing and amazing, talented people. So that's why when I look at you know, Angela here, right? I look at her weapons and stuff. You know, I was kind of bummed that, like, when I got this black and white, you know, black costume. Superman, all I got was the steel bar, right? That's it. A little bit of kryptonite crystal would have been cool, right? You know, but it is what it is, right? So let's go back to the video and give Boy some dues, right? As we carry on with this. So let's play.
Talking about how ugly he is and how he'll never get a woman like her and blah, blah, blah. You know, her just being a basic bitch. Anyway, this is just, I know it's a tragic story. We're getting to it. But anyway, the next day you have Ching Li. He's chained up once again. But this time, one of the guards makes a bet with the governor. I bet you this money on a horse that I can shoot the guy blindfolded. And that's exactly what he does. But he ends up shooting him in his soft heart, killing Ching Li. That night, while the storyteller stays with the body, he's met by a man who says, hey, I'm a servant in Malboja. I can handle this. Don't worry about it. The storyteller walks off, and he hears the man tell him, I know what you dream, and I can help you achieve that. The man disappears,
So good.
and that was the end of it.
Look at
The
the
next day,
details.
Cheng
This
Li's
is what a
body
comic
is left
should
up in a
be,
cage to
right?
rot and stay on display, still being disrespected even in death.
The comic art
And
should
that's
be of this
when a
quality.
warrior rolls up to the gates and tells them, look, I want to be part of your army. Bring me your best warrior, and I will fight him to prove my worth. And the governor's like, you're crazy. So they bring out their best warrior, and this guy mops the floor with him completely. This is Mandarin Spawn. And what he does is he completely impales this guy and then
Oh, let me go
slices
back
off his
because I want to
arms.
look at this. The way
He turns him into slices off. And what he does is he
look at that design, right? So much detail. This is so cool. I'm going to be talking about an anime soon, and it's called where are we? It's called The Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. Right. So let's carry on with this.
And what he does is he completely impales this guy and then slices off his arms. He turns him into sushi, basically, because this is just a very brutal, killing. But anyway, after this, they invite him into the dining hall, where it's revealed this is Cheng Li, but no one knows who that is except for the storyteller. And when he realizes this, he's like, oh, crap. Cheng Li then cuts off the daughter's head, and things really pop off. He starts killing everyone in the dining hall. And it's funny because the guy asked him, can you remove your mask? And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that because I'm terribly scarred from my enemies. And he said, well, me and you say in the same type of philosophy that if someone scars you, they should be killed and should be shown no mercy, which is ironic because this is exactly what Mandarin Spawn does, is he murders all of them except for the storyteller. And he also doesn't murder the governor for a very specific reason. He wants the governor to feel the same way that he felt. And so what does he do? He puts him in the cage that Cheng Li's body was put in, and he's left there to suffer for the rest of his life. Legend ends with him going back to hell.
That's a cool image.
And by his side. Legend ends with...
Oh, went too fast. Look at the details on that, man. I think this is one thing that I think that draws people to Spawn. Not only because, in the 90s when it, popped off and stuff, had a live action movie. I think it was MTV who did like I know, and I need to get that. I've got the digital stuff, but I need to get the actual physical DVD box set of the Spawn collected, anime series, right? Because it's
Legend in...
He goes too fast. Come back here. Hold on.
Legend...
Look at the details, man. It's just, I love the contrast because it's got gold, black, black, blue, whatever, and then red. It's just such an amazing contrast here.
Ends with him going back to hell, and by his side.
And the bat here on the left, right? I mean, I'm looking on the left. It's probably your right, but I'm looking, just the bat and everything, the detail.
The beautiful woman, and they make love passionately, and that was the end of his story. But he did make a brief appearance in Spawn 297, but we haven't seen much of him. Hopefully he shows up later for the stuff going on with the Spawn universe, and since there is a war coming, you're going to need as many Spawns as you can get. And Mandarin Spawn, he's a good choice, good warrior. So yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, man. Good job, Bly. Awesome. Yeah, I saw that, like I said, I just put a search in who's Mandarin Spawn, right? Didn't even have to say who's Mandarin Spawn, just had to go Mandarin Spawn, right? Don't know it. Now I know him, and now I like the character. And it's only a one-shot story, and then of course he said he appears in that another issue right at the end there. But I think like everybody's like, who's the next Stan Lee or whatever. I think Todd McFarlane is Stan Lee, right? He's, I guess he's out this generation of Stan Lee, right? And because he's a great salesman. He knows how to sell, right? That's one of the best things about it. And of course, there was something like, there's a video out saying, how he went broke and then how he got back got back into it again and made back his money that he lost. And I think this why I think whenever Frank Miller, speaks about Batman, I'm listening. Whenever Todd McFarlane speaks about the comics and how to be a better salesperson or whatever, do what you got to do out there, I'm listening. And then when Mark Miller is talking about the industry, I'm listening, because these guys really love this and the industry that I'm in. And I think if anybody should be listened to, it's those three guys, right? And it's sad when people are out here just kind of like, oh, they don't matter. They're the old white guys kind of thing, attitudes towards them. It's like, well, what have you done lately? Where is your creation in the grand scheme of things? Will people remember your name in 100 years?